Ladies and gentlemen, to this IMC matchup between the Summit Storm and the Redmond Panthers. Tonight is the Storm's senior night, so that happened about 5-10 minutes ago, and we'll cut to that.
Good evening, families, friends, and fans of Storm football. We would like to celebrate our seniors this evening. We're going to start out with our cheerleading team. Looks like we have one senior this evening, and that will be Maddie Moraguchi. She's escorted by her mom, Jennifer. Her favorite high school memory was sticking with cheer for 4 years. Her plans for after high school are go to culinary arts school and business school. Let's hear it for Maddie Moraguchi. Is it loud? Now, moving on to the dance seniors. Introducing dance captain Ava Gurley. She's being escorted by her mom Sarah, dad Darren, and big sister Brielle. Ava plans to attend Coastal College next fall to study marine sciences. And introducing another dance captain, Bella Cox. Bella's being escorted by her mom and coach, Marianne, dad Chris, and brother Colton. Bella plans to attend college outside of Oregon and is awaiting decisions on where that will be. Bella has loved making new friends through dance team, and her favorite memories are all of the team bondings. Up next, Christina Johansson, who is being escorted by her mom, Pat. Christina is planning to go to college, but she's not sure where or what she wants to study. And next up, Sienna Bessaril, who's being escorted by dad Ricardo and mom Jocelyn. Sienna's favorite memory has been spending time bonding with teammates and putting on the little kids' dance camps. Next year, Sienna plans on attending a college with a nursing program. Well, let's hear it for our dance seniors. And now, give it up for the seniors of the Summit Storm football team. We've got number 2, Arvelo, wide receiver, defensive back. He has a 3.6 GPA. He's been playing football for 12 years. He plays lacrosse in the spring and plans to play football and lacrosse in college. For him, the best part about playing football at Summit is the bonds you make with your teammates and the different styles of coaching you receive. He's been escorted by his parents, Rocco and Shanda, and his sister, Zoe. And we've got number 4, Taylor Gonzalez, running back and safety. He has a 3.5 GPA and has been playing football for 12 years. He would like to join the Fire Academy after high school. For him, the best part about playing Summit football is creating an unbreakable bond between a group of brothers and going to war together. He is being escorted by his parents, James and Jamie. And we've got a couple of twins on our hands. Not sure which one to go first. I'm going to flip a coin. Number 5, Mateo Larson. Wide receiver, defensive end. He has a 3.5 GPA, and this is his 3rd year playing football. He also plays rugby and doesn't know what he wants to do after school yet. For him, the best part about football at Summit is playing with everyone and being friends with them outside of just football. Also, having to turn in your homework. And number 54, Marco Larson, offensive line and linebacker. He has a 4.2 GPA, and this is his 4th year playing football. He also plays rugby in the spring. Next fall, he'll be playing football at Pomona College. For him, his favorite part of playing football is the lessons you learn that you can keep for the rest of your lives and the camaraderie you build with all of your teammates. And these boys are being escorted by their mom, Carrie. Number 7, Aiden Kuhn. Wide receiver, quarterback. He has a 3.5 GPA, and this is his 4th year playing football. He will attend college after high school. For him, the best part about playing football at Summit is the friends you make and the team building you do. He is being escorted by his parents, Erica and Matthew. And number 9, Alex Neveroff, halfback defensive end. He has a 3.8 GPA, and this will be his 3rd year playing football. He also plays lacrosse and will be going to college after high school. For him, the best part of playing football is all of the connections you make with all the other players. And they become your friends outside of football. He is being escorted by his mom, Trudy. And then number 10, Cutler Holden, wide receiver and defensive back. He also has a 4.2 GPA and has played 4 years of football. He plays lacrosse and is going to play football at Middlebury College in Vermont. For him, the best part of playing Summit football is the cold morning practice grind with the fellas. He's being escorted by his parents, Sarah and Dan. Next up, number 18, Kai Scully, wide receiver, defensive back. He has a 3.3 GPA, and he's played football for 12 years and also plays basketball. After high school, he plans to go to a 4-year college. His favorite part of football is how fun it is to play with friends, make new and good relationships, and he is being escorted by his parents, Kim and Paul. And now we have number 25, Sawyer Crocker, running back, linebacker. He has a 4.0 GPA, and this will be his 3rd year of football. After high school, he plans to become a wildland firefighter. For him, the best part of playing football is the strong community you build around yourself with all your teammates and the brotherhood that is created with everyone. He is being escorted by his parents, Lisa and Marcus, and his sisters, Peyton and Campbell. Up next, number 29, Mason Barker, wide receiver, safety. He has a 4.0 GPA, and this is his 4th year playing football. He plans to attend a 4-year college and get a business degree. For him, the best part of playing football at Summit are the characteristics you develop and the bond made between players and coaches. He is being escorted by his parents, Kelsey and Ian, and his brother, Max. Number 66, Barrett Redmond, offensive and defensive line. He has a 4.0 GPA, and this is his 4th year playing football. He also plays rugby in the spring and plans to attend a trade school after graduation. For him, the best part of playing football at Summit is the bond you build with the players and the coaches. He is being escorted by his parents, Tanner Lemon and Anna Valencia. And number 77, James Nelson, offensive and defensive line. He also has a 4.2 GPA. This will be his 6th year playing football. He also plays rugby. And after high school, he is planning to go to college. His favorite part of football is the friends you make by working together. And he is being escorted by his mom, Delana, and brother, David. And those are your Summit Storm football seniors. Let's hear it for all the seniors, dance team seniors, cheerleading seniors, and of course, your Storm football seniors.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the home of the Storm. Tonight's IMC matchups feature the Summit Storm facing the Redmond Panthers. The Storm come into this game 3-3. The Panthers come into this game at 2-4. The Storm really looking to get a win here and not fully secure, but increase their chances a lot for a home playoff game. I'm Pierce Gordon. With me is Finley Gobert.
Good evening, folks. We got a really good inter-conference game tonight. Redmond is 0-2 so far with in-league play, and they've been struggling big time on the defensive side of the ball. But Summit tonight, going into this, having struggled big time with getting momentum early on offense. So it'll be an interesting dynamic between those two kind of big factors for both teams. What do you think, Pierce?
Yeah, I agree. And I think we talk about a lot the battle of the trenches. That'll be really interesting today. Redmond with a very impressive O-line and D-line. Got some guys that are 6'9", 300 pounds on that. So
yeah, keep your eye on the Evelyn brothers, number 71 and number 75 for the Panthers. Super solid, again, both 6'9", just over 300 pounds. And they give Jack Snyder, the quarterback for the Panthers, a lot of time in the pocket to pass. He's been struggling a bit with connecting with receivers this season, so it'll be interesting to see, a team like the Panthers who relies so much on the run, if they can continue that against a Summit defense whose run defense has been, super solid. Definitely their strongest factor, and they have a great defense overall as well.
yeah, pretty easy to run with that O-line of the Panthers. But on the Storm side, really talk about the slow starts a lot these games. If you watched a lot of our previous broadcasts of Summit football, the slow starts are what really causes the Storm to fall into trouble. And the defense has really bailed them out a few games, especially that most recent one with Bend High. Defense really, you could account most of the points in that game that Summit scored to the defense, and then of course going on that 21-ish to 0 run after Bend High scored first. But I think personally it really comes down to Andrew Guthrie starting out quick, and he showed the ability to get the ball out quickly to quick cutting receivers like Kai Scally, Culler Hoban, Ari Villano. And I think we need to see more of that from him today, and that will be the determining factor in this senior night matchup.
Yeah, the Storm have been focusing a lot on establishing the run game early in most of these games. I still think that they should do that tonight, but Redmond's defense, especially their secondary, has struggled a lot this season. I think this is the opportunity for them to get Guthrie going early, get that offense going. I think the key, honestly, for them to run away with this game is just going to be score a touchdown, maybe two, in the first half. That's something that they've really struggled to do and really haven't been able to do at all. And they are going to be starting off the ball, so we'll see if they can get Guthrie going early here.
Yeah, I agree with you. Storm getting the ball first here to start this game. You got to imagine seniors got to be pumped up for this one, possibly your last game at home, barring that home playoff game. But so we're underway in senior night in Bend, Oregon, as the kick is caught at the goal line, returned, and he makes a move. Villano cutting it up, gets it past the 50, makes another move, gets it to the 40, 35, makes another cut, and out of bounds at the 31 in Panther territory. We've seen a lot of that from Villano throughout the season, and he starts off senior night with a bang.
Yeah, and you can see, taking a look at that here again, he had so much room at the start of the play. There were no Panther defenders back in the end zone with him, and he was just able to get his momentum, get some blockers in front of him, and get a huge start here as Guthrie comes out for the Summit offense.
And the Storm getting that big energy boost to start off the game as Guthrie hands it off inside Crocker, and he's able to pick up about 5. So Storm starting off with the run game early and able to pick up 5.
Yeah, I think Storm are going to have a really good night running with Ari Villano and, of course, Sawyer Crocker. The Redmond defense, again, just has been struggling, especially later on in games. They get worn down a lot by a lot of these teams. And here's a QB draw. Pick up a couple there to bring up medium third down play for the Storm. Don't want to settle for the field goal, of course, but they are maybe just outside of field goal range. But either way, getting points on the board here would be huge. We've been talking about those slow starts for them. They really need to get something going here on offense early.
Guys are going to call this a long 3rd and 3. Guthrie takes the snap, looking out wide, able to get that pass off quick. It's low, and they're going to say incomplete. So 4th and 3, early decision here. You going for that, Finn?
Yeah, I think I'm absolutely going for it. You know, you had a huge play to start off with that kickoff, and you saw the run game looked pretty solid. I would maybe do that buck sweep that they turned to a lot last week. Get Crocker the ball, get him some space, and just trust your blockers and trust your running back. But they're going to drop back to pass here, and it's broken up after the play, so that's going to be a turnover on downs from the Storm after a huge start. That's 4 and out, just like that.
Yeah, and we'll take another look at this. Guthrie had the receiver open, but just really well played by Redmond's cornerback there, just able to time that perfectly for that 4th down play, and that Volano run ends up being nothing there, as the Storm still with a goose egg on the scoreboard now, with Redmond coming out and their own just inside 25-yard line, probably around the 24.
Yeah, and expect to see Redmond run the ball a ton here. They got number 5, Eli Pupo, at the running back. He's averaging 90 rush yards a game right now. He's been huge for them to get the ball moving and just try and open up some opportunities for Snyder. As you can see right there with the handoff, he's able to maybe just lose a yard there.
And a late flag on the play. I wonder if they're going to get the Storm D-line for jumping. It appeared he jumped, but the flag came in really late there, as officials are going to talk it over.
Yeah, Jack Snyder, the senior QB for the Panthers, does a really good job commanding this offense. He does struggle a bit passing the ball. He's looking at a 64 QB rating on the season with just 56% completed passes. But he's really comfortable in the pocket, and that incredible O-line helps him out a lot. If you can just connect with his receivers tonight, they could have a really good night on offense and continue to open up running lanes for Pupo. On the defensive side for the Storm, you know, if they're able to just really lock up, the secondary can get after those receivers, and they can do what they've done so far on this possession for the Panthers and control the line of scrimmage, get in the backfield, slow down the run game, and get pressure on Snyder. I think that they're going to have another really solid night on defense, which is something they've seen a lot this season. They've been super great on defense.
Yeah, so far to start the game, Redmond going to the run game twice in a row, and that's what we've seen a lot from them this season. But Neveroff really able to impact that play, and that would be a big matchup today. Neveroff on that far left side of the line there, as Redmond will hand it off again. Storm getting pressure in the backfield. Running back able to negotiate it and pick up a gain of about 3. So it'll be about 3rd and call it a long 3, maybe 4.
Yeah, I think that this could definitely be a big kind of defensive matchup tonight. I mean, again, not that the Panthers' defense is necessarily incredible, but, Summit's offense definitely struggles a lot of the time to execute, especially on those 3rd and 4th down plays. So I think that this could be a big battle, and this could be a low-scoring game, but, we'll see how this progresses and how these offenses kind of warm into this. And there's the huge tackle in the backfield that's going to bring up 4th and medium deep in their own territory for Redmond. I'd imagine, they're going to bring out the punt team here.
There's a very impressive tackle here. Storm really against Bend High needed to do a better job of containing the edge and does it perfectly there, tackling the running back in the backfield on 3rd down. Doesn't get much bigger than that.
Yeah, super promising opening for the Storm defense. They didn't let Pupo get anywhere running the ball, which is pretty much the Panthers' only option on offense a lot of the time.
As Storm fair catch it about the 40-yard line, call it the 39, as we'll get another look at this Storm offense. And Finn, I think so far that first drive, good play calling, just weren't able to execute on a few passes there. I think personally go back to the quick pass game. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't mind them honestly just kind of throwing something deep, maybe on 1st or 2nd down here. I do think that they can kind of lean back on the run game a bit tonight. If they're able to establish that early and then just start really passing the ball, getting some high-altitude plays going, and there's the QB option, but Guthrie is brought down just at the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard to gain, half a yard.
Yeah, Guthrie on the keeper there, and I'm Seen that play a lot. We've seen it, I'd say probably 50-50, either those read option plays. You get a lot of room there on the outside, or defense is able to contain the edge there, which Redmond was able to do.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an impressive start for the Panthers tonight on defense. But, like I said before, they do often get worn down. We'll see if that happens again tonight. And here's the screenplay. Villano dancing around, finds some room. He picks up just about 4 yards there to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Storm.
Great. I love the play call here. Little wide receiver screen to Villano. I've seen that a lot this season. It's normally very successful. Villano, 2 defenders on him, able to shimmy his way through them for a gain of 5, and that's crucial. Instead of a 3rd and 10, it's 3rd and 5 now.
Yeah, a lot of the time when you talk about extending a play, you're talking about the QB dancing around the backfield, but Villano really extends plays, and there's the first down. Really solid pass there from Guthrie. I love that decisive passing from him. But
yeah,
as I was saying, Villano just does a really good job making the most out of plays. They say it's a game of inches, and he really takes that to heart, and he takes every single inch of yardage that he can pick up for the Storm very seriously on offense.
Yeah, and those, I mean, we say it every game. It's a game of inches as Guthrie now rolling out, throwing a laser of a pass, and that will be a gain of 6, maybe 7. And going back to that quick pass game with the screen to Villano, then picking up the first down and picking up 5 on first down there. So those quick passes really working well for Guthrie, as we saw towards the end of the Bend High game.
Yeah, it's been really fun watching Guthrie this season, seeing him become so much more confident with the ball in his hands, stepping up in the pocket, making big passes like that one. Can't quite connect, but either way, he's been super decisive and super quick to throw the ball. You see him, if you watch some of the earlier games this season, he usually tended to pick, 2 or 3 receivers that he would look for, and now he's able to very quickly read the entire field, see what the defense is doing, and make a good decision with the football.
Yeah, spreading the wealth more as we have a 3rd and 5, and we're going to get a flag on the play. Appears to be a neutral zone infraction, and I wonder if it is a long 5 or a short 5, whether the Storm get the first down here. As we'll take another look at this one. Redmond pretty clearly jumping offside there, and that's very impressive from a young quarterback there. Getting his team the first down on a pretty big 2nd, 3rd down and 5 there, able to go to the hard count and draw him offsides. As Guthrie now lining up with one running back to his left, takes this direct snap and tries to barrel his way through the line and gets tackled for only about a gain of 1. What do you think about going to that play, Finn? I guess Redmond with their 2 very star D linemen out of the play there. So
yeah, I don't mind that. I think Guthrie's a really big quarterback, and he's tough to tackle. So I don't mind them letting him rush the ball, of course, as long as he's prioritizing staying healthy, with the playoffs coming up. And here he is rolling out, finds a guy, and that's some space, and there's a first down for the Storm.
As Hoban able to get some yak yards after that and pick up a first down.
Yeah, and he was super open, and again, super exciting to just see Guthrie finding guys like that. He does tend to read the left side of the field first, so him super quickly finding a guy on the far side of the field, getting him the ball and giving him time and space to go make a play. Super good play so far from Guthrie.
As the Storm with a gain of 5. Again, those first, the Storm offense, we've talked about a lot of the first down plays not being very successful for them and setting them back, and the penalties. We've seen a completely different offense here, completely revamped and able to get the 5-6 yards on first down.
Yeah, I think, you can tell, especially coming off of a really big win against Bend High last week, the Summit team is kind of revitalized. They're a lot more confident, and they're a lot more disciplined, especially the O-line, who struggled a lot with false starts earlier this season. They would set their team back so much where, offensive drives didn't even have the opportunity to go anywhere because, you'd be in those 3rd and 25 or those 2nd and 25, 2nd and 20 situations. And so I think the Storm being able to, be a little more calm, a little more disciplined. And here's Guthrie on the rush. Picks up just a few, but it's going to be a first down. And they're now in range for a field goal or, of course, a touchdown.
And the Storm offense really just driving down the field here. Very impressive drive so far from them.
And you see Hoban come on the field for the Storm. I'd like to see them pass the ball here again, get Guthrie going early. If you can get a passing touchdown, especially this early in the game, that would be super huge for him. And the ball's up to Scally, but he's short of the goal line. It's going to bring up a 2nd and goal play for the Storm.
We have 76-1 Hubbard. And 80 Carpenter for the Panthers.
And here's Guthrie dropping back to pass again, rolling to the right side of the field. Has a guy, it's high, and it's just too far. It's going to be incomplete, out of bounds, but I love the confident throw there. He is very quick to leave the pocket, which, a lot of people would sum that up to, maybe being a little nervous in the pocket, but I think he's just a really solid player on kind of seeing how a play is gonna develop and following that. And he can also, again, run the ball very effectively out of the pocket. Rolls to the right again, and lucky not to get that picked off there. That's going to bring up a 4th and goal with about 6 yards needed. So it looks like the field goal team is going to come out. But either way, that's a solid drive from the Storm, and really big for them to just, in theory, get points on the board if all goes well on the field goal here. Early in games, we've talked so much about them struggling on offense, especially in first quarters, second quarters as well. So I think just if they can nail this one, get 3 points on the board, that's going to be just a big step for them on offense.
All right, we've seen a lot of special teams problems in high school football overall this year. So snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and kick is good. Storm strike first on the Panthers, 3-0.
Very precise kick there. Get some points on the board for the Storm. And that'll put the ball back with the Redmond Panthers and, of course, Jack Snyder at QB. Pierce, what do you want to see them do on offense here?
Panthers?
Yeah.
I think the Panthers got to establish the ground game. That's what they've been doing, the whole season, and that's how they've got their 2 wins, is just overpowering teams on the ground, and they're going to really need to win the matchup with especially Neveroff on that D-line.
Yeah, and I think if they're able to even double team Neveroff with those 2 Evelyn brothers, kind of slow up that D-line play that's been so solid for the Storm, and hopefully get something going for Eli Pupo in the run game, then that's going to start to open up opportunities to, let Snyder have the ball and throw the ball and try and find some receivers and put the pressure on the Summit secondary.
As the kick is up and will fall just at the 1 and roll out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
All right, the Panthers is on touchback. Start their 25-yard line. Nice kick by Max Shepard.
So the Panthers rolling out that offensive unit at the 25-yard line. I talked to a couple Storm players before the game. James Nelson told me that, a big key for them to win this game is just execute what they've been doing in practice on the field tonight. They've seen it in practice themselves, and we've seen it all season. This Storm team is super talented, especially defensively. And so if they can just go do what they do in practice, execute their game plan, play as a team, then I think that's going to be huge for them. And here's the Panthers breaking away on the run, still on their feet out at about their own 40-yard line, but huge run there from Wyatt Klecker from the Panthers.
Sneaks up the middle. Right down to number 25.
And an impressive run there from Wyatt, who just committed for lacrosse to Concordia.
Yeah, again, we talk about Redmond establishing the run game. You expect to see it from Eli Pupo, again, averaging 90 rush yards a game this season. But, yeah, just super solid for them to get out of the far side of their territory and put some more pressure on this Summit defense, hopefully open some things up. And there's a rush for about 1 yard there. Summit quick to jump on that one.
Yeah, that's number 3 on the carry for the Panthers, Parker Gibson.
Offense. Play action. And nothing there, but there's the pitch from the QB and can't get any space up the field for a loss of about 1. That's going to bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, and the Storm, other than that Keckler run, able to contain the edge and really set the edge and prevent this Panthers run game from getting going.
Yeah, and you're especially seeing you're seeing the Panthers struggle to bring the ball outside. They've loved like those buck sweep or kind of pitch type of run plays this season, but yeah, they're having a really tough time with a really solid corner team, as well as of course Alex Neveroff as the edge rusher for the Storm. And here's the 3rd and long for the Panthers.
Yeah, Redmond loving that 3 personnel back in the backfield lineup as the Storm able to get home for the sack. And very impressive on this massive Redmond O-line, as that will bring up 4th and call it a long 10. And I don't think you have much choice here but to punt the ball. And again, the Storm defense really setting up the offense. Offense did go down, score 3, which is good. Now get the opportunity to have the ball back and see what they can do.
Yeah, I mean, we said earlier that Redmond might have to kind of change up their usual game plan. They do really like to establish the run early, try and get something going there, and turn to the pass a little bit later in the game once teams are really honed in on Eli Pupo. But that's been a problem for them because of this super strong Summit defense. They haven't been able to get that going. They've had 1 big rush. Other than that, it's been super, super slow for them, and they're already like reaching, pretty deep in the playbook, bringing out different options and different, kind of trick play-esque play calls, and they're just not getting it going on offense. Pierce, what do you think they need to do to kind of turn on the Jets and maybe get some points on the board next time
think
out?
they need, we saw the Keckler run. I think more, obviously easy to say more of that, but I think that really just going to the Storm have been, Storm defense has been very good at stopping the pretty...
Struggled big time this season. Super, super solid so far. Of course, held Summit to the field goal their last time out, and they've been doing a good job just kind of slowing up that run game a little bit and only letting Summit get those underneath plays when passing. And here's Anderson up the middle for a gain of about 1 more there.
As we approach a minute left in this first quarter, the Storm facing a 3rd and call it a short 3 here. As the Storm will hurry to the line here. Personally, I'm liking a quick pass to Scally, bottom of the screen there. As they fake the run on the read option, Guthrie cutting it out wide and unable to break the tackle there. And that will bring up 4th down. So we'll take another look at that. Guthrie on the read option here, fakes the handoff, looks to have space outside, and Redmond just closing up the holes quickly.
Yeah, and I think on that read option, Summit really likes to turn that read option, and for good reason. It's an effective play, but I think Guthrie has the tendency to want to keep the ball there. And he's a good rusher, but I think he needs to be a little more kind of honed in on the read there and look to the running back first. I mean, if you look at that play, the running back had room to get a couple of yards and probably the first down there, but Guthrie took it into his own hands, and then on the far side of the field just got crowded. I also think that this O-line kind of prefers for the running back to get the ball going there, and that's going to be the first quarter. Summit with 3 on the board and a pretty solid start on them on offense. Just a couple, shaking things that we're pretty used to seeing from them thus far into the season.
Yeah, I feel like definitely shaky things on the offensive side. I think defensive side's been pretty sound. But with the offensive side for Summit more specifically, I feel like we get that momentum and they put up 3 points without the turnover on the defense or something like that. So I feel the offense is slowly getting into it throughout the season. In countless interviews, Coach Hyatt has said they just need to peak at the right time. And that right time's coming up soon with playoff implications on the line for every single one of the games for the rest of the season.
Yeah, of course, and Summit, they did start off 0-3 this season, now 3-3 on a 3-game win streak, and of course a huge win last week. if they can keep that up, that's going to have good looks again, like you said, with the playoffs coming up. I do think that they're peaking at the right time, but do you think that this is a team that can make a deep playoff push, Pierce?
It all depends on Guthrie here. I think obviously it's putting a lot of pressure on a young quarterback, but I really think that's who it's up to. Is the Storm will now punt it away, and Redmond will let it roll just to about the 30-yard line.
The Lions punt rolls its way down to around the 30-yard line. Panthers will take over there.
And out comes the Panthers offensive unit for another go at it. They got a pretty long field here. We'll see what they can get done. And here's another kind of option play with the QB, and he's got nothing. He's brought back for a loss of maybe 5 yards there. That was a super solid effort from the Summit defense. And I think we're just going to keep seeing that. The Summit D line is not letting a really strong Redmond O line, of course, with the Evelyn brothers out there, get to them. They're super poised and super aggressive still on the pass rush and stopping the run. And here comes that Redmond team. You'll notice no tight end out there. They got 2 running backs, and it looked like a wildcat play, trying to pick up a few yards, but they're caught up there with just about a yard past line of scrimmage. So that's going to bring up yet another 3rd and long. And they've been running no tight ends, pretty much always having at least 2 running backs in the backfield. And I think that just kind of speaks to their reliance on the run game. I think that's why they've struggled to close out games and win games this season, because their run game has been solid. They have a very one-dimensional offense, and it's showing so far. They haven't attempted a pass so far in this game, and they're 3 drives in. And that ball is broken up, just nearly picked off by the Storm, but it'll bring up another 4th and long deep in Panther territory, and out comes the punt team to let another one go to the Storm offense.
Yeah, the Storm with a pretty influential 3 and out, able to cause the Panthers to be able to punt the ball. Storm fair catch it inside their own 40-yard line, and that will set up Guthrie again for what is this, the 4th, 5th drive of the game. Just been looking like a Iowa football game.
Yeah, definitely. It's been a slow grind offense, underneath passes, lots of running, and then on defense, they've just been shut down. And I mean, yeah, you're right. That's pretty much how Iowa plays football. Comes Guthrie in the Storm offense, hoping to get a touchdown on the board after a field goal. And here's a deeper pass, and that's going to be a 1st down off a really quick pass there to Villano from Guthrie.
Yeah, Villano able to use his speed to cut out to the left there, and Guthrie able to put the ball right where Villano needs it and pick up that 1st down.
Yeah, and I mean, the Summit O-line has been super poised tonight and giving Guthrie a lot of time to pass, but he hasn't even needed it. I mean, he's been getting the ball out of the pocket within 1 to 2 seconds on pretty much every play, even on deeper routes like that one. And, a little touch pass there. Villano can't hold on to it. And they blow the play dead. And it looks like they're going to back them up a couple yards here for 2nd and 11 coming up here.
Yeah, the Storm with we talked about the first down penalties before. Now second down penalty, but it will bring up a 2nd and 10 as another flag comes in.
And a huge run there from Anderson. He's going to
That's
pick up a
Jude
first
Anderson,
down.
number 1 for the Storm.
Of course, pending the flag here.
J.J. Browning, number 12 for the Panthers, brings him down. There is a flag down. That's going to go against Summit.
As the flag will be against Summit. Now we see 2 back-to-back penalties there for the Storm. That will bring up a 2nd and 25.
Yeah, and I mean, we were just talking about, a more disciplined Summit team who doesn't see downs and distances like this anymore. But here's, I'm presuming, a deep pass from Guthrie, and he's sacked in the backfield to bring up a 3rd and even longer.
Guthrie lifts the pass, runs out of time.
So on the 3rd and long here, I honestly assume Summit is just going to run the ball, see if they can obviously try and get the first down, but, in actuality, probably hopefully just pick up some of that distance to set up for the punt, give their defense a longer field to deal with here.
As we have like a 3rd and call it like 35 on the play. Guthrie dropping back to pass. Over the middle, almost caught there, but only would have gotten him back to the original line of scrimmage. And that will bring up a 4th and 35, and can imagine what the call will be here.
We're going to be looking at a fake punt here from the Storm. I'm just kidding. We're going to punt the ball away, send that super strong defensive unit back out to continue to deal with the Redmond run game and hopefully eventually pass game. Again, we haven't seen them turn to that pass game and let Jack Snyder throw the ball here tonight, but super solid punt's going to bounce back, and Storm pick it up just before the 25. We're going to call that the
As Redmond now setting up in their own territory. There was a penalty on the Storm, so that will move the Panthers up a few yards.
Yeah, there's going to be like 3 penalties in the past 5 plays for the Storm, so starting to loosen up here. And here's Snyder with the ball. He'll hand it off. And just no first down there, but a solid gain there for the Panthers, starting to get some going on the run game finally.
Sawyer Crocker on the stop for the Storm.
So that will bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Panthers here with 8 minutes left in the second. Panthers lining up with 1 running back in the backfield. With the hard count, and the Storm D-line there doing an impressive job of not jumping off sides. They jumped, but not off sides. As now Panthers quarterback will look for the play, takes the snap, handoff to the right, has blockers ahead of him, and a great tackle there on the edge. As we'll take another look at that.
Yeah, the Panthers love running outside, keeping the ball on the ground, and Storm have been all over that. I guess they studied up on film over the week because their defense has just been jumping straight to the outside on those sweep plays and on those jet sweep plays especially. And that's going to bring up yet another third down for the Panthers, somewhere they've really struggled today. That's been causing them to punt the ball a lot of third and medium, third and long situations in their own territory. And I'd like to see them throw the ball here again. Snyder just looking at a 54% completion rate on the season, and they do throw the ball, and that's the first down. So establishing the run game over and over opens up the passing routes for the Panthers, and that's going to get them a first down.
Yeah, the Panthers going back to that same play, faking the running back screen out and passing it inside. Really good play design there to pick up the first down. Panthers now really liking this one running back in the backfield formation. So they'll fake the handoff, pass it out wide as the pass is a little behind the receiver as he's tackled by Scally for a loss of about 1.
Yeah, the Panthers are finally starting to crack into Summit territory, but as that field starts to shorten, I imagine that run game is going to become even less effective against the Storm defense, and they're going to start to need to be a little more dynamic on offense, which has been a struggle this season and is especially going to be a struggle tonight with a very strong Summit secondary. On the second and long here, I imagine they go to the run game, try and make this a third and manageable, and come up with another, I think really big, really important drive. And here's a screen to the outside. Pick up just about 2 yards there. And that's going to bring up another third and long for the Panthers.
Gets back to the original scrimmage. Third down and 10 for the Panthers.
So here go the Panthers dropping back to pass. Can't find anything. And that's going to be a sack in the backfield for the Storm, and they have the football.
And they're going to say ball is out. Officials are ruling that Summit has the football. As we'll take another look at that. Quarterback in the pocket, stepping up, and then dropping back, losing the football, and able to be picked up by the Storm. Storm will take over with possession at the Redmond 45. The defense throwing the Storm offense a gift like they have all season.
Yeah, and that D-line just completely collapsed on Snyder, and he had to try and make something work, and of course lost the ball on the scramble. Summit offense back out here, and here's Anderson, huge run, and that's going to be a quick first down for the Storm. And he had one of those earlier, of course, called back on the flag, but he's super quick, just shoots out of the pocket on those runs up the middle and is able to get huge chunks of yardage for the Storm, and they're already marching towards the red zone.
I think the Storm O-line really needs a lot of credit there, able to give the running back a gaping hole to come through. As we see the Storm going right back to the ground game, and not as lucky this time, only with a gain of 1 on first down.
So here's the 2nd and 9 for the Storm. 3 receivers out. Just going to drop back to pass and find Scally. Dancing around, gets the first down, and he's still moving up the field, looking for the end zone. Touchdown for the Storm. And there it is, that early touchdown that Summit's been looking for all season. Beautiful play from Scally, who's able to move around after the catch and make some defenders miss and just keep himself in bounds as well and go get the points for the Storm.
Yeah, very impressive play by Scally, just able to keep himself in bounds, like you said. And those quick out routes eventually will pay off with some talented receivers like the Storm have. Scally able to make a few man miss and pick up the long touchdown. And the Storm offense here, I think this is one of the, they've put up, barring the extra point, 10 points on their own.
It looks like they're going for 2 out here. Weird formation, but they're going to get it. So there's the 2-point conversion.
They gave it to Neveroff on the thing, as we'll take another look at that. The Storm, a lot of teams come out in this formation and then go back to normal, and the direct handoff to Alex Neveroff on senior night, able to run it in for the 2-point conversion.
The Wildcats and Neveroff, who's just been feeding the Storm on defense all season and for the past 4 years as well. He's been such a weapon for them, and glad to see him get out there on offense. I think it's every big man's dream to go get in the end zone on offense, so love to see that.
As the Storm now getting ready to kick it off, Max Shepard with the energy completely flowing the way of the Summit Storm, up 10-0 midway through the second. Shepard's kick lands at the back of the end zone. Very impressive kick from him, and that will set up the Panthers at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I'm going to correct you, Pierce. It's 11-0 after that 2-point conversion for Neveroff. So here comes the defense. Been so dominant tonight. Of course, gave up a few more yards than they had earlier in the game on that last drive for Redmond, but going to come out here and hopefully dominate some more, especially, just really shutting down that run game that Redmond turns to so much. We'll see if the Panthers can get something going with the pass game. They turned to a pass a little bit more on the last drive, and it seemed to open up their options a lot, but still not passing downfield. A lot of checkdowns, a lot of screen plays for some of their speedier wide receivers.
Yeah, I agree that the pass game looked pretty good for Redmond, and I think Redmond's had a lot of success when they're throwing something different, a different look at the Storm. I think the Storm have done their research on the Panthers and are able to stop runs like we see happening just now. They're able to stop the designed runs. It's happening. But the Panthers have had success with a little trickery, and I think that's what they should go back to. So that will bring up a 2nd and 10, or call it long 10, probably about a 2nd and 9.
The Panthers taking their time in the huddle.
Interesting. I'm assuming trying to take all the time off the clock. Only 3 minutes left in the half. As they'll drop back to pass. Looks to be a screen, but the receiver wasn't open or fell down. And Redmond's quarterback trying to make something out of nothing. And the whole Summit Storm defense was around him besides any of his blockers. We'll take another look at that. As the Panthers look to set up for a screen pass, the Storm defenders read that perfectly and block the running back that was coming out for the screen pass, and that brings up a 3rd and 15, call it 14.
Yeah, and I think if you're McNulty in the backfield there, you got to get rid of the ball. When you have that many guys coming at you, you just got to throw it out of bounds and set up for the next play. But I commend trying to extend the play, make something happen, and here's the 3rd and long here for the Panthers.
Is trying to throw all the way, has a receiver and that is going to be incomplete. Kai Scally with some great coverage there. Scally was beat off the first step and able to recover and use his wingspan to deflect that ball.
Yeah, and he's been doing that all season. He's been super solid on the secondary, and also a pretty impressive pass there from McNulty, who came in on the last drive. Of course, the Panthers kind of quietly switched QBs, and it seemed to be pretty effective. Got some yards last drive out, but this time, no such thing, and they're going to be punting here back to the Storm. See if they can get another touchdown here before half with just over 2 minutes left until halftime.
As the punt is up and looks to land around the 50, as the Storm will call a fair catch. As the Storm have gone a lot, we saw a lot of troubles on the special teams unit all around for the Storm, but especially on the punt unit. Villano with fumbling one punt that got called back because the officials couldn't tell who recovered it, and then Villano fumbling the punt right after that. And the Storm now electing to just fair catch almost every punt. And, seems to be working out for them, up 11-0.
Yeah, and, you also notice that you have Connor Connolly out there receiving the punts instead of Villano, who's been the guy all season to get those punts, which is, fair after, a bit of a struggle for Villano last time out, but also a bit disappointing because he's been able to make huge chunk plays on punt returns this season, go and get a ton of yards. He's so shifty when he has space, and there's a nice little chunk of yards there for the Storm on the quick screen play, and that's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Storm.
Yeah, listen to Coach Hyatt in any interviews, talks about really peaking at the right time. We mentioned that before. Connor Keneally really peaking at the right time for the Storm. Really not came out of nowhere, but really has come out of the woodwork for the Storm team and been an impactful player, as the pass from Guthrie is at Cutler's feet and he wasn't able to complete it. But again, like the Coach Hyde has been saying all year in every interview, peaking at the right time, and I think Connor Keneally was able to do that.
And you're going to see a 3rd and medium here for the Storm, and there's going to be flags thrown. It looks like the Redmond D-line might have jumped there a bit too excited on the 3rd and medium. And that's going to bring up, in theory, a 1st down for the Storm. Again, marching towards the red zone. Last time, that made a touchdown for them off the pass to Scally. We'll see if they can do it again here.
Looks like the penalty against Redmond will give us a 1st down.
And here's Guthrie dropping back to pass. Has a guy. And looks like Panthers looking for an interception, but referee is going to call that incomplete, so it'll bring up 2nd down for the Storm. And you see Guthrie rolling out so quickly there and kind of trying to force a play. And again, he's just a sophomore quarterback. That'll happen, but he's been super solid all night on just, making good decisions with the ball. So I think that's forgiven going in the 2nd down here. Storm turning away from the run game a bit in the past couple drives. And as I say that, here's Anderson, but that play's just completely blown up. So it'll bring up a 3rd and 12 for the Storm after the Panther defense just jumps all over that attempt there. And I would say this is probably 2-down territory for the Storm. If it brings up 4th down, they're likely going to go for it. But either way, big play here to kind of make up a large chunk of those yards, if not all of them. And Guthrie drops back to pass. He has guys taking his time. Ball's in the air, and that's intercepted. And Panthers defender trying to make something happen in the backfield, but he's brought all the way back to the 8-yard line.
As Hoban was trying to poke the ball out there, it looked like, and might as well act as a punt there for the Storm with 56 seconds remaining in the half, up 11-0. What do you think about that throw from Guthrie?
Yeah, I don't know what he saw out there. I think he must have, I don't know, maybe he saw the referee near the end zone and thought that was a Storm player, but there was absolutely no one to be found out there, and a very easy interception for Redmond. And unfortunate end to a big drive, what could have been a big drive for the Storm with such poised field positioning. But here comes the Panthers offense again with just under a minute here in the half. And here's the Panthers offense looking at another intense pass rush. Ball's out, and it's not caught, and it's intercepted by the Storm off the deflection. Someone on their feet moving down the field, and just like that, they're back very close to the goal line. What an incredible play on defense.
40 seconds left in the half, and Villano able to pick up the interception. Wow, what a play.
Looks like Ari Villano on that interception.
As Villano having himself a game here. Starting off with a bang with the kick return, and then now getting an interception in a crucial moment that could put the Storm up 3 scores.
Yeah, of course, someone going to be searching for that touchdown. But this is also, again, field goal range for them, of course. So either way, I think if they're able to just protect the ball and maybe play a bit conservative here, get a couple more points on the board either way, and continue to dominate this game how they have so far. And here's the run up the middle for Anderson. And he's just short of the end zone. So that's going to be a 2nd and goal here for the Storm. But again, super explosive run up the middle for Anderson.
And that clock running down to 23, 22, 21, 20. As the Storm only have a few more plays here. As it's 2nd down, snap goes over the head of Guthrie. Guthrie able to get it back, trying to make something, and goes down. And the Storm electing to call a timeout with 11 seconds left in the clock. And that's about the worst thing that you could have happen if you were the Storm.
Yeah, I saw a couple of those snaps go high earlier in the game. Didn't think much of it, but it came back to bite the Storm there. And that's going to back them up quite a bit. 11 seconds on the clock. I think maybe you just, put Kai Scally on a goal line fade, see if you can get in the end zone one more time. You have time for 2 plays. But if not, try and kick the field goal, get a couple more points hopefully, and go into the second half with the lead. No need to try and force anything and get Guthrie out of his comfort zone. I think he's already starting to struggle a little bit. This Redmond defense is showing up tonight in a way that I don't think the Storm fully expected they would. So I think if they're able to just stay calm here, get some more points on the board, and go into the half ready to come back out and continue to dominate, that's going to be the best look for their offense, the best look for their team. And here's Guthrie dropping back on the 3rd and goal, has a guy, and it's seemingly caught, but the refs don't call it the touchdown quite yet.
No signal from the officials as Villano is saying catch. The back official calling incomplete as Villano arguing his case here.
And the officials seemed a bit confused, very slow to call that an incomplete, but they decide that maybe the ball touched the ground. And so that's going to bring out the field goal team for the Storm here.
With 3 seconds left in the half, Storm looking to go up 14-0 heading into halftime. Really interesting call there. I think no official had an angle on it, so I guess the default is incomplete there. As we see Shepard back to kick now again. And the snap is good, hold is good, kick is up, and a beauty of a kick right through the uprights. So that will put the Storm up 14-0 over the Panthers heading into halftime. And we'll catch you on the other end of the half.
Two important staff, Officer Dan and Miss Leanna. Woo! Yeah, Officer Dan. Sharp. Miss Leanna's not here, but which one of our seniors will be our homecoming royalties this year? Can we get a drum roll, please? Cleary. And our second royalty, drum roll please, Bella Cox. All of you guys are great participants, and we all love you at Summit, so thank you very much. But don't forget our staff royalty officer day. Big congratulations to all these guys. Yeah. That's it. Woo. Thank you, Candy.
All right, let's give a big round of applause to all of those homecoming court folks, and of course, Police Officer Dan. And one note before. Well, let's hear it one more time for the Summit Storm dance team. Nice job, ladies. Let's give it up for both the cheerleaders and the dance team. They come out here, home games, weather doesn't matter, raining, sleeting, snowing. They're here giving us all they got. Let's give them all we have with a little bit of applause, please.
About like staying in his own boat.
Yeah.
It's like a little big ship.
It wouldn't really be that entertaining just watching some guy live on like $1 million boat. All right. Well, they haven't even reset the clock.
Like literally as they're kicking off, you can start up yours.
And we're about to get underway in the second half. The Storm leading the Panthers 14-0. An unconventional 14 points, though. The Storm got a field goal first, then a touchdown capped off by the Alex Neveroff fake field goal, if you call it that. 2-point conversion followed by another field goal. As we're set to get going, the Panthers with the ball. I'm Pierce Gordon. With me is Finn and Finley Gober. Finn, what do you think about the what the Panthers need to do on offense here?
Yeah, I think they really just, they've tried their hardest to establish the run game as they have all season. It's just not working out against a Storm defense this good. I think it's time for them to start, trying to throw the ball. Have they struggled this season with the pass game? Absolutely, yes. It's been a problem, but they got to get something going on offense. They're down 2 scores, and, it's crunch time. It's the second half. It's time to get after it for them on offense. We'll see what they do here as they come out following the touchback.
Yeah, see, I think this is do or die, and of course I have a great track history with that being said. and it not being do or die. But I think this has really set the tone here. We saw how quickly that first quarter went by for both teams, and I think really the Panthers need to set the tone here. I think go back to Keckler on the run or some type of short trickery. The like we said in the first half, the trickery was able to get the Storm defense.
Yeah, I think another big thing is just stop trying to go outside on the run. They love those toss plays. They love those jet sweep handoff plays, and it's really not working out. Summit's been all over that. And as I say that, here's the outside play, and Summit is all over it. That's going to be a loss of quite a few yards there, bring up a second and a lot. And we'll see here if the Panthers, like I said, can just get something going passing. It's been such a problem all season for them where they get behind in a game like this and they just can't get back into it, only running the ball. That's just unfortunately not how it works.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you there, Finn. I think that the Panthers really just need to get something going here. And like you said, go more to the pass game. Go more to what they've been doing, the little trick plays. As we'll see here, Panthers lining up with one running back in the backfield. Quarterback takes the snap, looking for the quick pass, able to get it there, and the receiver not able to haul it in, will be incomplete. As again, that the quick pass out worked, and just the like we said before, and we saw a little bit of this in warm-ups, the Panthers just not able to connect really with the receivers. Sometimes the pass is a little off, sometimes the receivers are a little off, and they're just the miscommunication, the connection just isn't there. I think with on the opposite side of that, you see Guthrie and Kai Scally. I think Guthrie, obviously young quarterback, will make some mistakes, but his connection with Scally is there, and they're able to Scally's able to make up for some of Guthrie's bad passes, and also able to pull him out a few times. And I think that's a upperclassman-underclassman relationship that I just haven't really seen here from the Panthers, as the Storm getting pressure. And wow, what a play. Able to come off the edge just flying, as we'll take another look at that. Look at the top of the screen. Alex Neveroff having himself a day on senior night, just sheds off the blocker. And that's an impressive shedding off 6'9", 300 pounds. That's not an easy task to do at all. And Neveroff makes it look easy, and that will bring up a 4th and 15. Panthers punting from the back of their own end zone. The Storm here looking to extend the lead to 21, as short punt will be fair caught by Keneally. And mentioned this at the end of the first half. Keneally really grown in to be a great player. Finn, what do you think about that?
Yeah, no, I think he's had a really just like kind of picturesque progression this year. You know, he wasn't getting in on a ton of snaps earlier this season, and then now all of a sudden he's getting out there, he's getting touches, he's getting a lot of snaps, and I think that's something you're gonna continue to see heading into the end of the season here. He's become a really valuable asset for the Storm.
Yeah, I agree here, and interesting to see what the Storm do. I mean, obviously, senior night, want to get your seniors involved as they hand it off to Sawyer Crocker up the inside, making cuts and able to cut his way up for a gain of about 8. As we'll take a look at this, as Guthrie takes the snap. Good snap there, can't take that for granted. As Crocker able to just cut his way through the line and able to get to the second level there. As Storm heading to the line quickly, handed off again, able to shed off 2 tacklers, 3 tacklers, and Crocker with some very impressive runs back to back. So we'll take another look. The Storm just heading to the line quickly and hand it off to Crocker, and he's able to shed off a few Panther defenders and pick up a nice gain there for the Storm.
And here's Anderson now up the middle again, and he's been doing that all night. So explosive off the line, running it up the middle, and just like that, 3 run plays for the Storm, and they're right down close to the goal line and established the run game early. They didn't even need to establish the run game. They just jumped right into it. It's been super effective, and that's going to continue to open things up for Guthrie, who had a bit of a shaky end to the first half. So I like them, giving him some time, letting him draw back to pass here. And
that ball is tipped, and that's going to be intercepted. Was just talking about the connection with Scally, and there's a little commentator jinx there as the ball is tipped from Scally and picked off by the Panthers. We'll take another look at this. Gunther just looking at Scally the whole way, and Scally unable to make the connection there. And well, commentators jinx there as we were just talking about their connection.
Yeah, and that one, you saw an interception earlier in this game from Guthrie, and that was a pretty bad read from him. He didn't have a guy, and it ended up just being a broken play and a turnover for the Storm. But that one just wasn't his fault. It wasn't necessarily Scally's fault either. Stuff like that just happens, and it's time for the defense to keep doing what they've been doing and allow the Storm to stay in this game and bounce back from something like that.
Yeah, I mean, bad red zone turnover there. But again, like you said, I think that's kind of just a team mistake there, not really one individual you can point at there. As Redmond now setting up within their own 5-yard line, and it's going to be a battle in the trenches here to see who can push back, as the Panthers able to cut it outside, and that's going to be a first down. Very impressive running there from the Panthers, able to dig themselves out of their own goal line.
Yeah, and that's a really well-drawn play, and we said, some of the trickery and more complex run plays were working for them, where they almost treated it like a QB sneak. They had a lot of guys on the outside, but they did send the ball with the running back to the far side of the field, and he was able to pick up that first down.
Yeah, like we said, a little trickery, was able to get that Storm defense on their heels there, and we're able to pick up the first down as that clock is still ticking, already down to 8:30 left in the third. And the first quarter and third quarter tend to go by very quickly in high school football, as the Panthers now will snap the ball just inside their own 15. Quarterback looking for something, has a receiver out wide, and he is tackled immediately, but it's still going to be a gain of about 3 or 4 there for the Panthers.
Yeah, I think, Summit is just enjoying kind of letting this clock tick down, and they have control of the game right now. They have control of the clock, and they're doing a super good job on time management. Letting the game go by. And Redmond, as a team who runs the ball so much, you're going to see that clock tick for them. So, the time really is of the essence for them to start getting the offense rolling a bit more, get some points on the board if they want to get back into this game and try and come out with a win, what would be their first win in the conference.
As the Panthers now handing it off inside, and the Storm all over that. But the Panthers were able to push forward for a gain of about 2. But again, those inside runs just haven't been there, but you do need to keep the Storm honest there with that play, and it will bring up a third and a long 3 there. As the Panthers now setting up for the 3rd and 3. And handed off, and I don't think he got there. Storm D-line doing their job and holding the Panthers to a gain of 0. 4th and a long 3 here. Finn, what do you think? You go for this one?
I think there's still, plenty of time left in the game. I would probably punt here. If I'm the Panthers, I think that 3rd down in your own territory, that's been a huge problem for them tonight. They haven't been able to convert on those basically at all. I think they might have one time, and I think that means, 4th, you're probably not going to convert on that either. So I like the move to punt it here, just set up on defense, try and get another stop, especially with a defense that's doing pretty solid. They've held a pretty powerful Summit offense to just 14 points so far, and Guthrie's having, again, just some sophomore quarterback woes tonight. So I think put the defense on the field, see if they can come up with another stop, back to the drawing board to get back out there on offense on the next possession.
Yeah, I think Guthrie just coming up a little bit unlucky this game. And I think really it's senior night here. And I think get the seniors in and see what they can do. We saw Neveroff and Villano both having big games, respectively, as another handoff to Crocker. And why not? He is a guaranteed he's averaging, 10 yards a carry here.
Yeah, you can pretty much call Crocker the human first down for the Storm tonight. He's been electric on the run game. And same with Jace Anderson. Both of them have been doing an awesome job just exploding up the middle, getting first downs, and if not, getting huge chunk plays for the Storm. I like the Storm to just kind of keep going to the run game here, keep pushing it up the middle as they do so. And there's another first down for Crocker, and still on his feet, goes down. at about the 25, and just like that, they're back in the red zone.
And Crocker's ability to just get yards after contact. I know it's a big stat that's looked at in college and the pros, but I think in every level that's a massive stat, and Crocker just is a yards after contact merchant, and that's very important. His little flip pass here to Villano, using his speed to get around the outside, cuts it up. Villano able to pick up another first down. The Storm have not had a second down on this drive. Handoff, little pitch forward to Villano as he uses his speed to get to the outside, and the Storm already in the red zone, knocking on the door of a touchdown, as we're going to get a timeout from the Panthers here, and they had no choice there but to stop the storming Storm offense.
Yeah, I think a big thing to look at with these running guys on the Storm is just that acceleration. As soon as the ball's in their hand, they're just taking off like a freight train, and you're seeing the yards because of it. But Panthers just don't have time to react on defense. They have guys scrambling in the backfield, and they have to rely on their safeties, maybe their corners, to try and go make plays and tackle these really strong and athletic running backs. And that's why these guys are able to get huge chunk plays and also able to get so many yards after contact. They're matching up with these smaller corners, and these are strong players. These are players who can use their legs and make plays from there.
And I think huge props to the Storm O-line here, really just providing some holes for both running backs here. As Guthrie will take the snap and hand it off. Appeared to be a read option. And again, will there be a second down on this drive? Yes, there will be. As I was about to say only a gain of 7. As it will bring up a second and about 3 here.
Storm offense quick to get back out there, and they're going to hand it off again to Anderson. He's up the middle.
And are they going to give it to him? They're going to give him the touchdown. Anderson falling forward for the touchdown extends the Storm lead all the way to 20. As we see the smoke bombs coming off in the student section.
Yeah, huge drive there for the Storm. Just completely revitalized the run game. They didn't throw the ball one time. They just handed it off up the middle, aside from that one pitch play every single time, and they were getting huge chunk plays, and they had 6 more points pending on 7 because of it. And it looks like they might go for 2 again with another weird formation. What senior will be hopefully ending up in the end zone now? I guess we'll see.
As they do snap it, and that's a backwards pass, and it's going nowhere, and it will be 20-0 Storm. Interesting 2-point conversion play.
They were trying to get Mateo Larson, the senior, in the end zone for the 2-point conversion. It worked earlier with Alex Neveroff, but that time just wasn't there for the Storm.
We'll take another look at this. Originally, I thought that if the pass to Larson appeared to be a backwards pass. Yeah, tiny bit backwards there. Thought he was going to throw that in. Little senior to senior action there. But nevertheless, Summit kicking off up 20-0 on the Panthers. And that was probably the best drive we've seen at home all season from Guthrie, from the Storm. Just very controlled, and I mean, it makes it real easy on your quarterback when you can hand it off and have a guaranteed 10 yards of carry. Shepard now to kick it off. He's had himself a good game, 2 field goals, and hasn't really gotten the chance to kick any extra points, but had some very impressive looking kicks. As he'll get us going here with 5:06 left in the third quarter. The Storm up 20-0 on the Panthers. And kick is up and away, and that will sail out of the back of the end zone. Another impressive kick there from Shepard, and will set up the Panthers on offense here. And if before wasn't do or die, now is do or die to get something going.
Yeah, especially if someone's going to be moving the ball how they did on that last drive. If you don't get something going on offense here, you can pretty much count yourself out of this game, especially with time taking off that clock, how quick it is. It's been about 15 minutes, and we're already towards the end of this third quarter. If Redmond isn't able to at least control the clock and, definitely get a field goal, a touchdown, something, get something on the board, get some points, they could be in trouble heading into the fourth quarter here.
as the Storm drop in Volano and Keneally in coverage, as we'll see what the Panthers will come out in. I imagine the Storm will continue to show this too high safety look for the rest of the game, and no reason not to. It's worked for them so far. As the Panthers with one running back in the backfield, motioning a receiver inside, fakes the pitch, little option play to the outside, pitches it to the running back, able to break a few tackles there and pick up a gain of, call that 5. Wow, very impressive run there. As again, Redmond showing some trickery, little fake pitch, and then pitches it out to the running back. And again, those yards after contact, we were talking about that with Crocker, and right there for the playing to the benefit of the Panthers.
Yeah, that was a really impressive play from the senior Mason Thines to get the ball, and he was kind of not in great position. He got the ball later in the play, but he was able to just break some tackles, go get some yards, set up a short second down for the Panthers offense to try and get what has been very scarce for them, a first down.
Yeah, which is, I mean, the Panthers are not a team that's going to play from behind. I mean, they play from ahead and really hard with their style of offense. As the ball comes out, and who has it? The Storm indicate they do, and so do the officials. As the running back just losing the ball, we'll take another look at that one. As we see a little run to the left side here, and coming in to meet him at the line was a Storm defender and just pokes that ball out, almost peanut punches it out. And that will be Storm ball just outside of the red zone. And if it already wasn't bad enough for the Panthers, another turnover now.
Yeah, I think it's time to just start milking that clock if you're the Storm towards the latter half of this this third quarter. Just go put more points on the board. Of course, you have great field positioning, but super great break for them on defense. And, I mean, of course, you can blame the running back there, for a bit of a mistake, but defense super intimidating. He just loses the ball here, and here's Crocker looking for the end zone, but he's just short, so that's going to put Summit first and goal.
And you could tell Crocker wanted that one, as we'll take another look at that. As Crocker just being very patient at the line, cutting through, and then dragged down from behind just at the 3-yard line. As the Storm now, I imagine, will give Crocker another chance as the snap is high and Guntry's able to fall on it. The Storm really have had a lot of problems with the snap getting to Guntry, especially in the red zone. Throughout the whole season, it feels like it's only been in the red zone as the snap goes above Guntry, and Crocker and Guntry couldn't figure out who's going to pick that one up, and Guntry just falls on it there.
Yeah, so still a prime positioning for the Storm to get a touchdown here, but a bit more confusing, and Guthrie messing with the snap again, and he just has to take it himself, and he's tackled for a gain of 1. That's going to bring up 3rd and long.
And again, those red zone woes continuing for the Storm. And again, that starts with the first down play. They get down there and just aren't able to and have that first down negative play. So now they're handed off to Crocker again, and he'll get to the 6-yard line. So we'll bring up a 4th and 6, and do you let Shepard kick this one in, or you trying to give it to a senior and have him go for a touchdown?
Yeah, I think, you're ahead. There's no reason to take any risks. Take the points here, extend your lead, and set up on defense, or hopefully another dominant go out for the defensive squad. So, I think that's a big I think that's proof for something that's rang so true for the Storm all year, which is just details, little things. Crocker's a little bit short, and it seems like no big deal, but then you go out, you mess up the snap, and then you have a couple bad play calls, a couple bad plays in a row, and now you're kicking a field goal instead of an easy touchdown. I think that as a young team, Summit needs to continue to improve on these small details, these small things. It's a game of inches, it's a game of details, and I think that proves it, but either way, points on the board for Summit as the field goal is good.
And Shepard able to kick that through, and he's been perfect with field goals so far today, and a very strong leg that he shows off there. That had plenty of leg behind that one. As the Storm will now kick off with 2:07 remaining in the third quarter, leading 23-0 over the Panthers. And not much of a better senior night you could have asked for. I mean, especially with that never off 2-point conversion. As Storm now getting set to kick off And the kick is up. And going to be a little short one here. Caught at the 5-yard line, returned past the 10 to the 15, cuts it up to the 20, and tackled just before the 20. Call it probably 19 and a half there, as that will set up the Panthers with 2 minutes left in the third, down 23. You think this game is out of reach here? You think? I mean, yeah. What's your take on that, Finn?
Yeah, I mean, I think usually you still got a whole quarter in front of you. You're down 23, it's a lot, but, that's 3 touchdowns and a field goal, and you're ahead. Crazier things have happened. But I think the way that this Panthers offense have looked, where they're fighting, they're putting their blood, sweat, and tears in, they even get a first down. They've had so many fourth down punts in their own territory. I just don't think that they can come back in this the way that the offense is producing. They've had different guys go out there at quarterback. They're trying to figure things out, but this Summit defense is just completely spoiling Redmond's night on offense, and I think they're looking for a shutout here.
As this crowd's getting into it, first down pass play, Neveroff gets pressure off the edge, and that ball is out, and that's recovered by the Storm, and the officials are going to call that a fumble, and wow, Neveroff is having himself a day, as we'll take another look at that. Neveroff again shedding off the edge, and that's just a quarterback trying to do too much. Got to take the sack there and move on, as Neveroff, so far, player of the game on senior night. 2-point conversions and fumbles. Wow. So that will set up the Storm right back where they kicked the field goal.
Yeah, the offense got to be loving this. They're getting, 20-yard short fields every single time. If they can just punch another one of these into the end zone, I think that they're going to be in good shape going into the fourth quarter here.
Yeah, getting some good red zone practice here in the third quarter as Guthrie takes a snap and no handoff again. Gain of about 2. I think from Guthrie, I really want to see, obviously senior night, get the seniors the ball, but haven't seen much of Scally, haven't seen much of Hoban, seen a little bit of Volano, obviously, more so on the special teams unit, but I think really get Hoban, get Scally the ball from Guthrie in the red zone, and see what they can do, make a play, as could be potentially the last home game, but the Storm so far looking good to have a home game as Guthrie overthrows his receiver there. Just for a little clarification on that, the Storm need to obviously win out. It's probably guaranteed home playoff game. But this win here and one more win either against Caldera or Mountain View in their upcoming schedule would most likely guarantee them top 8 placement in the state for a home playoff game.
Yeah, Summit's currently looking at number 4 for the 5A teams. They're pretty solid searching for that home playoff game. Again, that Mountain View game is going to be super, super big for them next week. And there's another bad snap. Guthrie gets it and he throws it. It's almost picked off, but that's going to be an incomplete pass and bring up another fourth down. So short field for the Storm yet again, but unable to get it in the red zone, and the kick team is going to go back out.
Yeah, and even the Storm at 3-3, the two of their losses are to the number 1 and number 2 teams in 5A, and then another loss is to the reigning state champs in Idaho. So 3 very, don't want to call them good losses because the loss is never good, but 3 losses not to scoff at.
Yeah, no, definitely forgivable losses, and the Storm have looked super strong, especially with their own conference play. Of course, tonight they've been so dominant against Redmond. They beat Ben High last week in what was easily the biggest game of the year for them. And otherwise, just within the Intermountain Conference, they've been super strong. They've looked great at home. And I think if they can continue to play like this and just get hopefully 2 more wins after what I presume will be a win tonight, they could be in good shape going into the playoff to try and make a push. And again, we talked about the playoff picture for the Storm earlier. It's going to be up to Guthrie. It's going to be up to Crocker. It's going to be up to these players who are so big. I mean, the defense is incredible. The defense is winning them games. It's going to be up to these offensive guys who really lead the team, not only with their words and their leadership, but just what they're playing on the field, the production. I think especially with Guthrie, he's just a sophomore, but he's shown what he can do with the ball in his hands. If he's able to play at his very best in the playoff, the Storm have a legit opportunity this year to make a pretty deep push and show up against some of the best teams in the state.
Yeah, I agree with you there. It really just falls in the hands of these underclassmen, which I've said this time and time again. Coach Hyatt said it time and time again. Peaking at the right time, peaking when it matters. And if the Storm want to make that late or playoff push, they're going to need to clean up some of those red zone woes. On the other side of that, on the more positive side, Max Shepard, I mean, he's proven himself this game to have an amazing leg and able to get some good power behind those kicks. I mean, some of those might have been good from like 45, 50. As we see him here kicking off, and that will fall in the back of the end zone and die right there, as the Storm now up 26-0 over the Panthers. And the Panthers here, I mean, just don't want to be cliche or rude about it, but just try not to turn the ball over again.
Yeah, I think they, a first down here would be a big boost for their offense. Of course, scoring is always the goal, but if they can just kind of get something going here, so far in the second half, they've had absolutely nothing to answer this Storm defense. So I think they got to try something different. The pass game isn't working. They've been changing up their quarterback, and the run to the outside isn't working very well either. I think you got to keep trying to push it inside, up the middle against the Storm defense, and just see if you can get something going there. Otherwise, maybe it's time to just start searching real deep in the playbook, see if you can pull out some tricky play, have an explosive gain against the Storm. Here's the run to pick up about 3.
The Panthers do pull out a little trickery there and able to pick up 3. With the quarterback keeper, will bring up second down and call that probably around 8.
Yeah, I think another promising look for the Storm going into the playoff is their start today. They've been struggling all season on offense in the first half. Tonight was the first time in a home game that they've scored a touchdown in the first half. It's been a struggle, but they got it going tonight, and if they can continue that momentum, into the next game and, of course, the playoff, that's going to be a big factor for them getting into these games early, because you never want to play from behind no matter what team you are.
Especially the Panthers, as they'll pitch it out to the right side and able to fall forward for a gain of about 5. Will bring up a third down. And will most likely take us to the end of the third quarter, bringing us into the fourth quarter. The Storm up on the Panthers 26-0. And I mean, it's been a game of just turnover woes for the Panthers. And I think for the Storm, it's been a game of not being able to convert in the red zone. But I mean, Max Shepard's leg able to bail him out a lot of the time. The Panthers now setting up in their own territory, hands it off up the middle and going nowhere, losing 3 on that play, as we'll bring up a 4th and probably not double the 4, probably 4th and 5, 6 here.
Yeah, I spoke earlier about, Panthers needing to try something new. The pass game's not working. Running outside isn't working, but running up the middle isn't working either. They're kind of out of options on offense. I think it's time for them to I don't even know. I think it's time for them to go back to the drawing board, finish out this game, maybe try and find some positive momentum. But that offense is just not getting anything going against the Storm defense.
As Keneally lets the punt roll all the way down just inside the 20, and will be 1st and 10 for the Storm. And really, I think like I said before in the red zone, I want to see a little impressive drive here. Obviously, Storm might want to run the ball, run the clock out, but I think really get the seniors involved. Really have develop that relationship between Guthrie and Hoban and Scally. And we've seen that with Villano. We've seen a little bit with Scally, but I think really utilizing Hoban more in the pass game. If you watch the Idaho game, Hoban made a few very, very incredible catches. Looking to see more of that here as Guthrie dropping back to pass. Speaking of Scally, looking for him, and Scally unable to haul it in there.
Yeah, surprised no penalty there. Defense was all over Scally, but he's not able to haul the ball in either way. I like seeing Guthrie throw the ball deep there.
Yeah, it's interesting. Cornerback didn't really turn around there. I mean, this late in the game, though, not going to see that called too much, especially when winning 26-0 here, as the Storm will go back to the run game and cut. I was going to say stuff, but able to cut it outside and pick up a gain of 3. Impressive running there, as the Storm run game has looked very impressive come late.
Yeah, and I think, I think they're going to keep running the ball here, but later in the season, in other games, if they're able to continue the production with the run game on offense, that's going to open up a lot of, explosive opportunities for Guthrie. You just saw there, him going deep for Scally, and if they can continue to grind that run game out and open things up, and here's Guthrie throwing the ball.
That was a
incomplete
dart of a pass as a flag comes in there. Wonder if that will be a pass interference call, as Keneally appears to be hurt after the hard hit there. So we see Keneally, top of your screen, come up, and I'm assuming they're going to get number 12 with leading with the head there, as that flag came in right away, hoping Keneally's okay, as we see him get up and slowly walk back to the huddle. Good to see that, as he took a hit, helmet right to the chest, as the officials going to call it against the Panthers, and will be a 1st down for the Storm. And an unfortunate penalty there for the Panthers. It's one thing that's just like very hard not to do. And hope Keneally is okay, which he appears to be. That will set up the Storm at the 36, 37-ish yard line. Let's see what Guthrie can do here, as Villano in motion pitches it to him, trying to get to the outside and nowhere to go, as Villano is spun down for a loss of 1. Villano there was unable to use his speed to get to the outside. The Panther is able to close down that edge very quickly, as that will bring up a 2nd down. And the Storm now electing to slow things down, which makes sense. Only just under 10 minutes left here in the game. Up 26. No reason to do otherwise, is the quick pass out to Keneally, and Keneally with a beautiful spin move cuts it up, cutting it inside, makes move after move, cutting it up, and finally dragged down in Panther territory. Is Keneally went down a few plays ago and comes right back. 1-man, 2-man missed, 3-man, 4, 5, and almost 6. As Keneally is impossible to bring down in the open field.
Yeah, very athletic play, of course, from Keneally, and also just so patient. A lot of guys are going to get squirrely when you're on a longer run play like that. You might make a mistake, you might take the wrong angle, but he's able to just be slow, control the ball, control the play, follow his blockers, and come up with a huge gain for the Storm to revitalize this offense, heading towards the red zone, hopefully to put a couple more points up on the board.
And there is a penalty against the Storm. It appeared to be after the play, so we'll back them up 15. Not sure what happened there, so it will be a 1st and 25, call it. As, again, those first down penalties killing the Storm. You get a amazing play from, as they're bringing the chains back now. So it will only be a 1st and 10 here. As basically back where the original line of scrimmage was before the Keneally play. As Guthrie taking the snap and just hands it off, cutting up the middle, able to break through 1 defender, 2 defenders, 3 defenders on the spin move, and dragged out of bounds for a gain of about 20, and just an impressive running play all around.
Yeah, and that's the senior Kinsella just extending the play. Yards after contact and that spin move, so athletic and able to keep his momentum and pick up that yardage that they lost on the penalty.
And seniors doing senior things on senior night, as Guthrie now will take the snap and hand it off again, because why not, and barreling through defenders for a gain of, call it 9. As Guthrie taking the snap, hands it off again up the inside and cutting through defenders and unable to pick up any more yards there. Just lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage there.
I think, no matter what the outcome of this drive, points or not, I think the Storm are just happy to keep the ball moving and take a lot more time off that clock. You have the lead, it's just time to milk the clock and keep the defense off the field. They've earned it tonight, and hopefully they're able to at least get in field goal range, but it's going to start with this play right here, 3rd down conversion, 4 yards to go.
It's that clock under 8 minutes now, cutting it to the left, able to break through a few tackles, and finally dragged out of bounds, not willingly, as they're going to say he got himself down before, so the clock's still running. On a 3rd and 4, big game there, able to pick up the 1st down as that clock keeps running under 8. And this has been, what, a 4-minute drive already. Very impressive from the Storm.
Yeah, and that's a super nice bounce back from Westerhoff. Of course, getting stopped on that 2nd down. Able to bounce back, grab the 1st down, and stay in bounds. Very impressive body control as Guthrie hands it off again, and that play just blows up before it even starts. Impressive defense there from Dines.
Yeah, it's the one time we've seen the Summit O-line kind of blow up there and able to let a Redmond player back in the backfield quickly.
Yeah, they've played a really solid, disciplined, and patient game today, and I think that was something that was missing a little bit last week against Bend High. Guthrie was able to move the ball out of the pocket very quickly, but those deep routes weren't really happening as much for the Storm, especially early, because that O-line wasn't able to control the D-line and keep Guthrie safe in the backfield. I think that's been a completely different story tonight, and they've been super solid protecting him and giving the running backs room to run the ball as well. I mean, this has been a very run-based offense in the 2nd half, and it's been super effective, not only, of course, with the clock control, but also just with moving the ball up the field. And here's going to be another 3rd and medium for the Storm, all the way down to 6 minutes in the game here.
Yeah, the Storm just running down this clock as Guthrie gets the snap, and what a surprise. Handoff again as he cuts it up the middle, and it goes down just inside the 10-yard line. So we'll bring up a 4th and 1st down. Sorry, the chain gang threw up 4th down there for a second, but that will be a 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. As, again, down to 6 minutes. This clock is just ticking away. I mean, you normally say 5 minutes in a football game, so equal to 10 or 20. 5 minutes is equal to 5 minutes here, as Guthrie taking the snap and hands it off again inside and able to spin his way down to the 1-yard line. And they're going to call him on the half-inch yard line there.
Yeah, so there's another impressive run from the sophomore Westerhoff. I think it's time to get a senior running back in there and hopefully punch this one into the end zone. Clock continues to take super impressive job controlling the time by Coach Hyatt. And here come the Storm, hopeful to put in another touchdown before giving the ball back to Redmond. late in the fourth quarter.
As you see Taylor Kinsella there in the backfield as we get a timeout here from Summit. I imagine just draw up the play for a senior. Second down, you have probably, well, I would say go for this on fourth down if the yards to gain are still the same. And a really just impressive drive all around from the Storm. Obviously, you haven't seen a lot of Guthrie, and that's kind of what you expect. Up 26-0 in the fourth quarter. Don't expect to be passing much. But I've liked what I saw from Guthrie today. I think the evolution of his game, he continues to improve every day, and his ceiling is massive.
Yeah, I agree. And, he's shown all season what he's able to do. And he's had some mistakes today. Of course, that early interception. But he's just been doing an amazing job of leading this team, keeping them in this game. A lot of teams will start to get, a little less discipline when they have a big lead like this and it's getting late. But he's just done a good job keeping this team humble and gratified. And here is the touchdown for the Storm. And it's going to be Kinsella.
Flag comes in on the play. The student section letting off another smoke bomb, barring the flag here, but it appears to be against Summit as the officials now talking it over. As the Storm players appear to be celebrating, the ball will be placed where they're going to kick the PAT. Maybe against the Panthers, as they're going to talk to Coach Hyatt, see what he wants to do. And that flag gets picked up. Touchdown is good. So that will be a touchdown for the Storm, getting another senior involved there. And we'll see what they do on the extra point. Maybe go for two something. We've seen a lot of fancy stuff from them today. Up 32-0 as they come out looking to kick the ball, but you never know. As the snap is back, hold is good, kick is up, and kick is good, extending the lead to 33, to 0. Not much more you could ask on senior night here. Get the seniors involved, and really just have fun with it.
Yeah, I think, not only has Summit, of course, been, super solid on offense, super solid on defense, obviously, but they've also done a good job just kind of bouncing back from small mistakes. They've been in the red zone and not been able to come up with points or have to settle for a field goal. They've had turnovers, but they've done a super good job just staying poised through those moments and continuing to give their best and go out there and play a really great football game.
Yeah, I agree with you there. I think that the adversity that the Storm team has faced ain't able to come back from that. And looking ahead to the futures, this one's just about over with 5 minutes left, just over 5 minutes left in the game. The Storm facing Mountain View and Caldera, two big matchups, two IMC matchups. Caldera, of course, started off the season 2-2, but then some OSAA violations. Coach resigned and forfeited 2 games. So unfortunate for a new school to have that happen to them, as they're enforced the Panther penalty on the touchdown run on the kickoff. But back to the future for the Storm here. Obviously, that Mountain View game coming up will be probably the Storm's biggest test so far since Wilsonville or the Idaho trip. As the Storm have Mountain View next week, and a win there at Mountain View, probably one of the biggest games of the season, as Shepherd will get us underway. But yeah, back on that Mountain View game coming up next week. Probably one of the biggest games of the season so far. IMC matchup. Of course, normally rivals with Bend, but Mountain View's proved to be a very formidable team this year, looking really solid. Will be interesting. That will be at Mountain View, and then, of course, at Caldera in 2 weeks. And if the Storm win out there, that's almost guaranteed home playoff game and more football action for us.
Yeah, definitely. I think that this is a very monumental win for the Storm of continuing their undefeated streak with interconference play, and I think especially if they can shut out Redmond tonight. That'd be a huge boost for their defense going into the last half of the season and getting into that Mountain View game. That's going to be so pivotal for their season. I think on the offensive side of the ball, things look really good as well. And that run game was super great tonight. And if they can get back out there again and continue to prove that, I think that'd be a big confidence boost for their offense as well.
As Redmond dropping back to pass there in a perfectly timed play there by Tanner O'Brien, able to just perfectly time that pass breakup. So we'll bring up a 2nd and 10 here for the Panthers. As if you're the Panthers here, what are you trying to do?
I think if I'm the Panthers here, I'm just trying to, finish this game as soon as possible, make sure no one gets injured, maybe try and build some positive momentum to go into next week with. But, I think it's time to just hunker down, get ready for a long weekend in the film room. And, they're going deep into the playbook here, and it's just not going to work. Those outside runs have been completely blown up by the Storm defense tonight.
As a loss of about 5 or 6 on the play, as the clock dwindles down under 5 minutes here. As the Storm now looking to make another stop on 3rd down in Redmond's own territory. And I don't know if this second half they've crossed the 50 and gotten into Summit territory, which is more of a testament to the Summit defense. I mean, we see how talented the Redmond O-line is and how big and strong they are. And really just a testament to the Summit D-line, especially Neveroff, who is having himself a game. Is now quarterback rolling to the right, chucking it deep and just over the outstretched hands of his wideout. And we'll bring up a 4th and 15. And I imagine this will just be a punt down at 33.
Yeah, I think it's good for Redmond to go out there, start throwing the ball downfield. You start seeing 4 receivers on a lot of these formations, something you didn't see earlier in this game. And I think that's the kind of, I guess, positive momentum, as I was saying, that they want to build going into next week. It's obviously been a tough game, but if they can just experiment, maybe get a chunk play or something like that, I think that would be good for them to head into the rest of the season.
As the fair catch again by Keneally, the Storm really just not trying to, no reason to risk anything as Keneally makes the fair catch, and that clock goes down to under 4 minutes as the Storm will take over. And I imagine we'll see a heavy dose of seniors, I don't want to say acting as running back, but in the running back position. As, of course, the Storm will come out here. We see Alex Tulin here in at quarterback. The junior hands it off, and very impressive running there, cutting it up across the field for a gain of 5. As we see a mostly upperclassmen line up here on offense for the Storm. And a lot of the not unrecognized players, but a lot of players that working their butt off in practice and finally getting the limelight.
Yeah, I think that this is just a fun drive for the Storm to end off this game, and kind of an ode to their seniors. It's been an up and down season thus far, and what is your regular season home game closure here for all these seniors? It's been an awesome game for them, and it's fun for them to get out there, get some reps, and have some fun as this game closes out. Just under 3 minutes left here on the 3rd down for the Storm offense.
As the Storm will, barring a home playoff game in the regular season, move to 3-1 at home. And I think that's really just a testament to everything the Storm football team, the Storm crowd, really just the home environment here, making it hostile for opponents. As another run here, bouncing off the hits and able to get the 1st down on 3rd and 3 with a pickup of 10. And that clock keeps running as it's now under 3, and this Storm offense is just putting it in chew clock and hasn't looked back. As 3 receivers out wide, one running back in the backfield, takes the snap, hands it off again, tries to cut it upfield, trying to drag defenders with him. Unable to, only able to pick up a gain of 1, maybe 2, as this will take us under 2 minutes, as they'll call it a 2nd and short 10, as that clock continues to tick. And the Storm in no rush to do anything about it. Fendi, if you just run the clock out here, or are you trying to get a senior a touchdown?
You know, I say go for it. Try and get a senior a touchdown. You know, like you said, a guy who's been in practice the past 4 years, waiting for his time. You know, go try and get some points on the board for that guy. You know what I mean?
As snap was taken, pitch out wide, cutting it upfield again. And this Storm run team, I know we talked a lot about it, the yards after contact, massive. As a gain of about 7-8 on the play will probably be about a 3rd and 2 or 3. As that clock is, I mean, every play is, they're using the full play clock here, going down to under a minute here in the 4th quarter. The Storm look very content to just run this clock out. As they'll go in a Storm looking to be in victory formation here to take a knee with 3rd and 2. No reason to do anything different.
And that's going to do it for the Storm. Going to let the clock run out here in that student section, rushing down, getting ready to run out onto that field. But absolutely beautiful performance from the Storm with a 33-0 win. And the offense looked great, but I think you know, the defense was really the deciding factor tonight. Of course, with the shutout, but forced so many turnovers, so many fumbles, and Redmond was just completely out of options. I mean, a lot of times you look to a team who's struggling like this, and it's, you know, it's because they're too focused on one aspect. They're throwing the ball too much, they're running the ball too much. But Redmond tried everything, and it just wouldn't work for them tonight. And Summit was able to get a dominant win. Huge win for them to remain undefeated within their conference going to these last couple games of the season. Of course, a fun game for senior night and going into homecoming this weekend for Summit.
Yeah, great homecoming and senior night win for the Storm. I think we'll let you watch the celebration unfold on the field, as 2 pretty big events with homecoming and senior night. Storm, we talked about a little before, going against Mountain View next week, and then Caldera needing to win one of those to be top 8 in the state to get that home playoff game, and for us, some more football action.
Yeah, you know, I think a home playoff game would be so huge for them. They've been so effective at home, and I think if they're able to continue to do that, you know, into the playoff, that's going to be a big factor for them. And, you know, you see their defense so effective at home, and their offense, too, seems just a lot more effective with that home crowd, and I'm sure that the Summit students would enjoy that as well, of course.
Yeah, I'm Pierce Gordon. On camera was Lily Siglo. My co-commentator was Finn Gober, and that will do it for tonight, as we'll let you watch the celebration unfold on the field, and hopefully looking to see you guys later for some home playoff action if the Storm can win one more game this year at Caldera or Mountain View.